How many living things can survive in a handful of moss? Most of us never bother to answer this question, because when we look at a small patch of moss on a tree trunk, an old stone wall, or a patch that sprouts after the rain, we only see a green covering. Yet nature often hides its greatest secrets in the most ordinary-looking places. Today, we will try to discover exactly that. Our goal is to find the tardigrade, known as one of the most resilient creatures on Earth. But at the end of our journey, we will understand that what we are actually looking for is not just a living thing, but a completely different world that our eyes cannot see. I go outside early in the morning with a small pair of tweezers and a few sample containers. My goal seems quite simple: to collect a few pieces of moss. But which moss? Those that have dried in the sun, or those that remain constantly moist? The soft moss on the bark of a tree in the shade catches my attention. I carefully take a small piece. Then I collect a few more samples from an old stone wall, and then from a moss-covered rock. From the outside, these small pieces in my hand look no different from each other. But I don't yet know what lives inside them. When I return to the lab, I place the samples in petri dishes and add clean water. At first glance, nothing happens. Silence reigns. But this silence is deceptive. Because hundreds of microscopic organisms, perhaps lying dried for weeks, are reunited with water. Their cells slowly come to life, their metabolisms restart, and the movement of the invisible world begins again. A few hours later, I take a small drop of water filtered through the algae with a pipette and place it on the microscope slide. As the microscope objective slowly descends, blurry shapes first appear in the field of view. I sharpen the focus a little more. Suddenly, I feel as if I am looking at another planet. There is movement everywhere. Long, slender nematodes twist and turn. Rotifers filter the water with their rotating crowns. Diatoms reflect light with their shells that seem to be made of glass. Then a familiar silhouette appears. A blepharisma with its purplish pigment slowly glides by. Just a few micrometers away, other ciliates are moving rapidly, amoebas are nibbling and changing shape, and countless bacteria. It's as if an invisible city lives inside a single drop of water. Just then, a different creature moving slowly at the edge of my field of vision catches my attention. A tiny animal with a plump body, walking slowly on 8 short legs. The creature we've been looking for is finally before us. A tardigrade. Despite being too small for the human eye to ever see, it's an extraordinary creature that scientists have studied with fascination for decades. This tiny animal can almost completely stop its metabolism under the right conditions, survive without water for months or even years, and when it reconnects with water, it continues its life as if nothing happened. And this was one of the creatures that had been motionless in the dry moss a moment ago. But as I watched the tardigrade, I noticed something else. It's not alone here. The algae around it form some of its food sources. Ciliates passing nearby share the same habitat. Rotifers, nematodes, and other protists take on different roles in this tiny ecosystem. Some special ciliate species even attach themselves to the tardigrade's body surface and are transported to new habitats. This shows that the unseen world is woven with far more complex relationships than we imagine. A handful of moss isn't just the home of a single organism. It's a living micro-universe formed by hundreds of interconnected species. That's why scientists continue to collect moss. Because each sample contains not only a new tardigrade, but also new species, new behaviors, and secrets of nature that we haven't yet unraveled. Perhaps in the future, understanding the extraordinary resilience of tardigrades will inspire the development of new methods to preserve organs for longer periods, or technologies that will protect human life in space travel. But the starting point of all these great discoveries may be a tiny piece of moss that most people pass over without noticing. The next time you look at the moss on a tree trunk or the green covering on an old stone while walking, remember that it's not just a plant. Perhaps at that very moment, in a world unseen by your eyes, thousands of living things are struggling for survival, hunting, reproducing, and living their lives as part of an invisible ecosystem that has been going on for millions of years without stopping. Nature's greatest miracles are sometimes hidden in the smallest details.